Hi guys, this is Dr. Mo's channel. Today we are going to be discussing cancer, so stay tuned. Now, cancer is a disease that has been of serious public health concern for many years and will continue to be so for years to come. It has been projected that with the rate at which cancer is increasing, even in communities where it was hitherto considered to be rare, is so high that in another 1 to 2 decades, more than half of every human being will have had one form of cancer or another. Now, what is cancer? Cancer refers to a disease in which the cells, a clone of cells from a particular organ, one organ or the other, they go rogue and begin to proliferate indiscriminately, purposelessly, in a disorganized manner, in excess of the needs of the body. Now, when this happens and it is not nipped in the bud, a time will come when it will spread and cause destruction in neighboring tissues. It also tends to throw seeds to distant organs like the brain, the liver, and the lungs, where it forms colonies that will destroy the tissues there and disrupt their function. So, what causes cancer? To understand what causes cancer, you need to know that cell proliferation is a tightly regulated process. Now, for cells to either proliferate or divide rapidly or sluggishly or not to proliferate at all is under the control of certain software packages. Now, it will amaze you to find out that nature uses digital technology, and digital technology is not really an invention of man. So these software packages that are in digital form are stored in the genes, in the chromosomes, and they are called proto-oncogenes or tumor suppressor genes. Now, when these software packages get corrupted, then cancer occurs. Now, there are two main types of tumor suppressor genes or oncogenes. The first group are the DNA repair genes. Now, these genes, this software, during the cell division, where there are mistakes in DNA sequencing, it goes about and repairs all the mistakes that are made during DNA sequencing. Now, if this software is corrupted, any mistake that is made in DNA synthesis will persist. Now, this software package also causes cells in which the DNA repair is not possible to commit suicide in a process called apoptosis. But when this tumor suppressor software is dysfunctional, these cells persist and they become cancerous. Now, the second type of tumor suppressor genes are the genes that are involved in direct control of proliferation of cells. So these are the genes that will tell cells, proliferate, we need more of you, or we need less of you, or we just need a moderate amount. Now, so these tumor suppressor softwares or genes now exert this tight control on proliferation. When they become corrupted, they cannot perform this function effectively, and some cells may now escape their control and continue to proliferate rapidly in a disorganized manner, excess to the needs of the body, and that is what is called cancer. Now, when the cancer clone is formed and when it is still small, the immune system still has a role the immune system will come in through natural killer cells, which are constantly on patrol. And when they see any cancer cell or cancer-forming clone, they destroy it. Cancer only results when the tumor, the natural killer cells, are unable to kill the cancer cells, or when the cancer cells adopt invasive maneuvers that allow them to escape the notice of natural killer cells. Now, what are the examples of the first type of tumor suppressor gene? There is a syndrome called the Li-Fraumeni syndrome, in which a gene called P53, which is a DNA repair gene, is defective or lacking. This is usually inherited from parents. Now, when this software package is lacking, DNA damage cannot be repaired. DNA damage accumulates, and the result is what? Cancer. So people who have this Li-Fraumeni syndrome tend to develop multiple cancers in many parts of the body, in the bones, in the muscles, in the intercolon, in the ovaries, and in the breast. And this condition runs in families. The second type, a second example of this kind of tumor suppressor gene, or which is a DNA repair gene, is the BRCA gene. Now, if this BRCA gene if its software is corrupted, it becomes dysfunctional, and breast, ovarian cancer, and prostate cancer will tend to develop in families that have this gene. Angelina Jolie, the movie star, has popularized this gene. She did a screening, found out that she's had BRCA, and to prevent her developing any of those cancers, she went and removed all the two of her breasts, the two of her ovaries, and her uterus. So so as to prevent the manifestation of that BRCA gene, which she inherited from her parents. So these are two good examples of DNA repair tumor suppressor genes or oncogenes or proto-oncogenes that, when they become corrupted, become oncogenes and promote the growth of cancer cells. Another thing that can corrupt the software are viruses. Viruses can corrupt software that control the growth of cells, and thereby the body can lose control of proliferation. There are three viruses that come directly to mind, or even more. There's a hepatitis B virus, there's a hepatitis C virus. These viruses will insinuate themselves into this tumor, into these softwares, and cause primary liver cell cancer in the host. Another common virus that does this is the human papilloma virus, that affects skin, the mucous membrane of the cervix, of the uterus, and the throat mucosa. So this virus, human papilloma virus, corrupts the software that stops those cells from proliferating. So they proliferate, the mistakes that are made persist, and the people will develop what we call papillomas, and may later develop cancer of the cervix, remember, skin cancer, and cancer of the throat. There is also the Epstein-Barr virus, which is responsible for throat cancer and some form of lymphomas. Now, the same thing is what happens in the case of chemicals like aniline dyes, which affects these tumor suppressor genes and destroy them, corrupts their code, corrupts the software, which becomes dysfunctional. So you can have cancer in the urinary tract. Smoking, tobacco, asbestos, they have the same effect on the genes and are responsible for cancer of the lung. Now, what of ultraviolet radiation from the sun? Too much exposure to the sun will cause you corrupt your DNA software in these tumor suppressor genes, and now will cause you to develop cancer of the skin. Also, ionizing irradiation in the form of gamma irradiation. People who survived the Hiroshima disaster, many of them died of different forms of cancer, especially thyroid cancer. So you can see that cancer results mainly from environmental attack on the software, the digital software information that controls the cellular proliferation. When these softwares are corrupted, the result is cancer. There is another school of thought that is talking about the metabolic pathway for development of cancer. This man believes that the Wallenberg theory believes that cancer cells have damaged mitochondria. And since mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cells, when they are damaged, the cell lacks energy to activate the enzymes and the genes that help the tumor suppressor genes to function, and therefore the cell now becomes malignant. So that is it about cancer, how and why it develops, the factors that cause cancer to grow, and why cancer is becoming more prevalent. Cancer is not becoming more prevalent because these factors that corrupt the software are on the increase. Things like hepatitis B and hepatitis C are on the increase due to sexual promiscuity. Things like human papilloma virus are also on the increase due to sexual promiscuity and kissing, okay, and fellatio, okay, that's people sucking each other's genitals. Through this medium, they transfer these viruses to each other, and then later on in life, the result is cancer. In fact, the human papilloma virus is being investigated as a cause of prostate cancer, which is one of the commonest cancers that afflicts males, black males. Thank you very much. We have come to the end of this video. In the next video, we will try to talk about prevention of cancer, early detection, prevention, screening, and treatment, orthodox treatment, and adjunctive or supportive treatment of cancers. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, like it, subscribe, share it with your friends and neighbors and groups. Bless you. Thank you very much.